My name is Daniel. I'm 33 years old. I work as an Uber driver, and this ride completely changed how I see life, and especially how dark family secrets can be. It was a regular morning, almost boring, when I accepted a pickup in front of a nursing home. Nothing seemed unusual until I saw him. A skinny old man, snow-white hair, but with eyes way too sharp for someone carrying 75 years on his back. And here's what immediately caught my attention. He was holding a grocery bag, looking over his shoulder like someone running away from something. Or someone. The moment he sat in my car, he took a deep breath and dropped a sentence that sent chills down my spine. "Step on it, kid. If they catch me, they'll lock me up forever. And trust me, my family is nothing like what you'd expect." Right then, I realized this wasn't going to be just another ride from point A to point B. No, this was something way bigger. And what he was about to tell me honestly made me question everything about love, loyalty, and just how far someone is willing to go for money. So stay with me until the end of this story. Drop a comment letting me know where you're watching from, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel. Because what you're about to hear sounds like a movie script, but it's 100% real. Alright, let's start from the beginning. Working as an Uber driver has thrown me into some crazy situations. Couples fighting in the back seat, drunk people crying over heartbreaks, passengers running away from bad dates. But nothing, absolutely nothing, comes close to what happened that day. His name? Joaquim. And before I could even ask anything, he fired off. "Yeah, I escaped. I escaped that nursing home. And if you knew why, you probably wouldn't have let me get in this car." He kept glancing out the window like someone expecting to be dragged back at any second. My heart was racing, and even without understanding what I was getting into, I was already part of his escape. To break the silence, I asked, "Are you okay, sir? Why did you run away?" He clutched the grocery bag tightly to his chest, took a deep breath, and answered with a tone that chilled me to the bone. "Kid, everything I built in my life was stolen. And worse, stolen by the very people who share my blood." I gripped the steering wheel tighter, trying to hide my nerves. My curiosity was on fire, but part of me started wondering if I was stepping into something way bigger and way more dangerous than I should. Then he continued, voice bitter, almost whispering. "I spent 40 years believing I had a family, believing I had kids, grandkids, and that they all loved me, until I found out what they did to me." "And what did they do?" I asked, barely able to hide the tension. Joaquim looked at me, and in his eyes I saw a pain that no words could ever fully explain. "They locked me up, in that place. And not because I was sick, no, but because they wanted me out of the way, to steal something I've hidden my whole life, something they think is gone, but it's not." As he said that, he tapped 3 times on the grocery bag he held. In that instant, I realized I was caught in the middle of something way bigger than I could have ever imagined, and I had no idea how much this secret was about to change not only his life, but mine too. The moment Joaquim tapped that grocery bag, I swear my stomach twisted. Something told me that whatever was inside that bag was the reason this entire nightmare started. I glanced at him. His hands were trembling, not from age, but from tension. His eyes scanned every car, every street corner, like he expected someone to jump out at any second. I finally asked, "Sir, where exactly are we going?" Without hesitation, he replied, "Somewhere safe, somewhere they'd never think to look. And don't worry, I'll pay you well for this." But the way he said it, it wasn't just about money. There was fear, desperation, and something else. Something I couldn't name yet. As we pulled onto the main road, I tried to act casual. But honestly, my hands were sweating on the steering wheel. My heart pounded so loud it felt like it echoed inside the car. And then, he started talking. Not small talk, not casual chat. No, he started dropping truths, heavy ones. "I was a businessman. I built everything from the ground up. Properties, land, investments. I made sure my family would never lack anything. But you know what happens when people know you're worth millions?" He turned his gaze directly at me. "They start planning your funeral while you're still alive." That sentence hit me like a punch to the chest. I barely whispered, "Are you saying your family?" He nodded, tightening his grip on the bag. They didn't even wait for me to die, kid. They declared me mentally incompetent, said I had dementia, got doctors to sign fake reports, took me to that damn nursing home and locked me there, while they divided everything I ever worked for. My jaw dropped. I didn't even know what to say. But, can they even do that? Is that legal? He gave a bitter chuckle. When there's enough money involved, anything becomes legal. Or at least, looks legal. A lump formed in my throat. I wasn't just driving a runaway grandpa. I was driving a man whose own family betrayed him in the most brutal way possible. Then, he slowly opened the bag, just enough for me to glance inside, and what I saw made me slam the brakes for a second. Stacks of documents, folders, legal papers, and cash. Thick, rolled-up bundles of cash. Joachim looked at me, dead serious. This is the last piece they didn't get. The only thing that proves who really owns everything. And if I don't do this right, they'll bury me alive, literally. I swallowed hard. Do what right? What are you planning to do? His voice dropped to a whisper. I'm going to find the one person who can help me fix this, before they find me first. And then, the phone rang. His phone. He pulled it out, stared at the screen, and his face went pale. Completely pale. It's them. He didn't pick up, just stared, breathing heavy. Then, almost like talking to himself, he muttered, They know I'm gone. They're already looking for me. That's when I realized this ride had just turned into a race against time. Joachim's hands were shaking now. He turned off the phone, shoved it deep into his jacket pocket, and whispered more to himself than to me. No, they can't find me. Not yet. Not now. I tightened my grip on the steering wheel and asked, Sir, do you want me to drop you somewhere specific, or? His response was instant. Drive south. Stay off the main roads. I'll tell you where to turn. No GPS, no pinned location. Just his voice guiding me into the unknown. I nodded, swallowed the lump in my throat, and followed his orders. The silence between us was loud, heavy. Every few seconds I caught him glancing at the rearview mirror, like he expected a black SUV to pull up and block us in. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't checking my mirrors too. Then he broke the silence. His voice was tired, but filled with something else. Bitterness. You probably think this only happens in movies, right? Families turning on each other for money? I hesitated, but answered, honestly, yeah, this feels surreal. He gave a sad smile. It's real. And let me tell you, it doesn't start with a sudden betrayal. No, it starts small. Tiny cracks, little lies. Greed grows quietly, like a cancer, until one day, you wake up and realize the people who should be protecting you are the ones sharpening the knives. Those words hit hard. Too hard. Then, out of nowhere, he asked, Do you have family, kid? Yeah. My mom. We're close. My dad passed a few years ago. It's just the two of us now. He nodded slowly. Then treasure her. Trust me. You have no idea how lucky you are. A long pause. Then, he opened up more. You know, when my wife died, I thought my kids would come closer. Family becomes tighter after a loss, right? That's what I believed. But instead, it was like a switch flipped. Meetings I wasn't invited to. Conversations that stopped when I walked into the room. Lawyers suddenly started calling. But not for me. For them. He looked down, voice cracking slightly. And then, the worst day of my life. My oldest son, the one who used to sit on my lap when he was 5, he's the one who handed me the court papers, declaring me mentally unfit, said I wasn't safe to handle my own affairs. My chest tightened. How could they do that? His eyes welled up, but he blinked fast, refusing to let the tears fall. Because greed turns love into poison, and once money's involved, you stop being their father. You become an obstacle. The GPS beeped. I had forgotten it was even on, but I ignored it. Joachim tapped my shoulder and pointed. Turn left here, faster route, less eyes. As I made the turn, a question burned in my throat. I had to ask. Joachim, what exactly is in that bag? I saw the papers, the cash, but what's the real key? He stared straight ahead, jaw clenched, and whispered, "The original will. The one they don't know exists. And something even more dangerous." He patted the bag twice. "Proof. Proof of everything. Fraud, lies, signatures. Everything that can burn their whole plan to the ground." I felt a chill. And that's when he said something that made my blood run cold. "If they catch me, I won't make it out alive. And neither will you." I slammed the brakes at the next stop sign, stared at him and asked, "Wait, what do you mean, neither will I?" He turned his head, eyes dead serious. "You're part of this now, kid. Like it or not, you're in it with me." The air inside the car felt suffocating. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tight my knuckles turned white. I stared straight ahead, trying to process what Joaquim had just said. "Wait, how exactly am I in it with you? I'm just your driver. I didn't sign up for this." He didn't flinch. He didn't blink. He just leaned slightly closer, his voice low but razor sharp. "Kid, the second you picked me up, the second your name popped up in their system as my driver, you were marked. If they track me down, they track you down too. And if they find out you've been helping me, they'll come after you just like they're coming after me." My throat went dry. My pulse pounded in my ears. You've got to be kidding me." Joaquim sighed, sat back and looked out the window like he'd done this 1,000 times before. "I wish I was. But they don't play games. They're not going to take chances. They'll silence anyone they think knows too much." I swallowed hard. My brain raced through every possible option. Drop him off? Call the police? Pretend none of this ever happened? But deep down, I knew it was too late for that. Then Joaquim's phone buzzed again. He pulled it out, glanced at the screen, and his jaw clenched. "Unknown number. That's them." He declined the call. Another one came in seconds later. Same number. He declined again. "They're scrambling. They know I'm gone. And now, they're desperate." I couldn't hold it anymore. "Joaquim? Seriously, what exactly are they willing to do? Are we talking threats? Or worse?" He didn't answer right away. His lips pressed into a thin line. Then, with a voice cold as steel, he replied, "Kid, let me put it this way. A year ago, a close friend of mine, a lawyer, the only person who knew I was getting suspicious, he fell down the stairs at his office, broke his neck, died instantly." My mouth went dry. "The cameras? Oh, conveniently malfunctioned that day." I stared at the road, heart hammering. This was real. Way too real. "So, what now? What's the plan? Where are we even going?" He straightened up, voice firm. "There's someone who can help, a woman. She's the only person left who knows how to fight this. A retired notary. She handled my first will, the real will. If we can get to her, and she verifies this document, then we can blow their whole scam wide open. And if we don't?" I asked quietly. He stared straight at me, no emotion in his voice. "Then I disappear, forever. And you? Well, you better hope they believe you were just a driver." Another chill crawled down my spine. But before I could respond, something happened. A black SUV, dark-tinted windows, same car that had been behind us for the last 3 turns, suddenly sped up, switched lanes, started tailing closer. Joaquim saw it too. His eyes widened. "Kid, floor it, right now. That's them." My instincts kicked in. I slammed the gas. Tires screeched. The engine roared. We shot forward, weaving through traffic. The SUV stayed right on us. "Closer, closer." Joaquim yelled, "Faster, lose them. Whatever happens, do not let them block us." I gritted my teeth, adrenaline flooding my veins. This wasn't just a ride anymore. This was survival. My foot was slammed against the gas pedal. The tires screeched as I dodged between cars, narrowly missing a delivery truck. In the rearview mirror, the black SUV was closing in, fast. Joaquim gripped the door handle so hard I thought it might snap off. "Faster, kid. Don't let them box us in." I swerved onto a side street, barely squeezing past a minivan. Horns blared behind me. My hands were shaking, but my focus was razor sharp. Every instinct screamed, "Drive or die." "Who are these people?" I shouted, trying to steady my breathing. Joaquim's voice was raw, furious. My sons, my daughter, and their lawyers. But they're not coming themselves. Oh no, they've got people, private security, hired muscle, people who don't ask questions. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You're telling me your own kids sent people to hunt you down? I told you, this isn't about family anymore. This is war. The SUV suddenly accelerated, swerving left, trying to cut me off. My pulse exploded. I jerked the wheel hard to the right, flew over a sidewalk, dodging a street sign by inches. Joaquim shouted, "Straight ahead! There's an alley coming up, take it!" I spotted it. Narrow, tight, barely wide enough for the car. I turned so hard the tires lifted on one side. The car scraped against the brick wall, sparks flying, but we made it in. The SUV tried to follow, but it was too wide. They screeched to a stop at the alley entrance, unable to fit. I exhaled, but it was too soon to relax. Joaquim pointed ahead. "Go! Go! They'll circle around. We're not safe yet." The alley dumped us onto a side street. I sped down, cut across an open parking lot, and finally hit a less crowded road. My hands were shaking so bad I almost couldn't hold the wheel. Joaquim leaned back, clutching his chest, not from a heart attack, but pure stress. That was close. Way too close. My voice trembled. Man, I did not sign up for this. I'm a driver, not some getaway guy from an action movie. But Joaquim wasn't even listening. He was focused, calculating. They're sloppy, desperate. They didn't expect me to move this fast. His phone buzzed again. Unknown number. He declined it without blinking. Then another. Then a text popped up on his screen. He read it, and his face drained of color, completely pale. I glanced over. What is it? His hand shook slightly as he turned the phone toward me. The text read, "We know where you're going. Turn around." My heart felt like it stopped. How do they? Joaquim gritted his teeth. They're tracking us. Either my phone, or... He suddenly looked at me, eyes wide. Your car, your Uber app. You accepted the ride. They might be pinging you too. A cold wave washed over me. I quickly grabbed my phone, switched it to airplane mode, then shut the whole thing off. Should I ditch the car? Should we? He shook his head. Not yet. Not until we get to her. She's the only shot I have. We have. And if we don't? I barely whispered. He looked me dead in the eye. Then pray, kid. Pray hard. He glanced out the window. Take the next exit, fast, before they block it. I swerved onto the exit ramp, heart pounding. Ahead, the road stretched out, empty for now. But deep down, I knew. This was only the beginning. As we sped down the highway, the silence between us wasn't comfort. It was pressure. Heavy, suffocating. My hands were shaking so bad I had to grip the wheel tighter just to keep control. Joaquim checked the side mirrors like a soldier scanning for enemies. His voice was sharp, focused. All right, they know we're moving. We can't go straight to her place now. We need to throw them off. How? I asked, voice dry. They've got trackers. Maybe drones for all I know. He exhaled sharply. There's a parking garage about 4 miles from here. Abandoned. We switch cars there. Switch cars? I almost laughed from the nerves. You have another car stashed somewhere? Not mine. He grinned slightly, but one that won't be missed for a few hours. I blinked. You're telling me we're gonna steal a car? His eyes locked onto mine. Borrow, temporarily. You want to live or not? I bit my lip, slammed the signal, and veered off the main road. Okay. But after this, I'm out, all right? He chuckled, bitter and tired. Kid, you've been saying that since I stepped into your car. Yet, here you are. Couldn't argue with that. We drove in silence for a few more minutes until the outline of the old parking structure appeared. Cracked walls, faded paint, empty except for a few dusty cars left to die. I pulled in. The echoes of our tires bounced against the concrete. No cameras, no guards, just shadows. Joaquim pointed. That one, the silver hatchback. Doors are never locked in these dumps. Sure enough. I jogged over, heart pounding, yanked the handle, unlocked. I slid in, popped the ignition panel, and Joaquim leaned over with a screwdriver from his bag. A few quick sparks. Engine roared to life. I blinked. Okay, that was weirdly easy. That's the universe telling us to keep moving, he said, sliding into the passenger seat with the bag hugged tight to his chest. We drove out, leaving my car behind, abandoned, disposable. As we merged back onto the road, I dared to breathe again. You think we lost them? Joaquin was scanning the windows, paranoid, focused. For now, but they'll check that garage soon. We've bought minutes, maybe an hour at best. He opened the bag slightly, checked the contents, the documents, the stacks of cash, the envelope he hadn't let me see yet. His hands trembled just a bit. We're close. Her place is 25 minutes away from here. Once we get there, if she's still alive, everything changes. That last part caught me. What do you mean? If she's still alive? He sighed deeply. She's old, like late 80s. Retired, off the grid. But if she's still breathing, she's the only person left who knows the truth about my assets, about the will, about everything. Then, his phone buzzed again. This time a text. He stared at it, and I watched as the color drained completely from his face. They've escalated. I leaned over, heart pounding. What do you mean? What did they say? He showed me the screen. The text read, "You're not the only one we're looking for. We know his name. Daniel, Uber driver, 33, lives with his mother. Careful who you help." My stomach flipped. A wave of cold washed over me. I nearly swerved the car. Oh, my God. They know me. Joaquin's face was dead serious. They're not bluffing. This is real now. For both of us. I gripped the wheel tighter, fighting to keep my breathing steady. We finish this. Whatever it takes. We finish this. He nodded, almost smiling through the stress. Good, because there's no turning back anymore. The GPS ticked down. 21 minutes to go. And I knew everything was about to change. The road ahead felt endless. Every mile was a mix of dread and desperation. My fingers ached from gripping the steering wheel too tight, but I couldn't relax, not for a second. Joaquin sat rigid beside me, hugging that grocery bag like his life depended on it, because, let's face it, it did. His eyes flicked between the rearview mirror, the side mirrors, and the road ahead like a man hunted. The silence between us broke when he muttered, almost to himself, "I never thought it would come to this. Running, hiding, hunted by my own flesh and blood. How did it get this bad?" I asked, my voice quieter than I expected. He sighed, long and heavy, then rubbed his hands over his face. It started with my daughter, the youngest. She was always different, entitled, never satisfied. But when my wife passed, something snapped in her. She convinced my sons, twisted them against me, whispered in their ears about the inheritance, about how old men shouldn't manage money. His voice turned bitter. Soon the whispers became plans, fake diagnoses, lawyers in their pockets. Suddenly, I was legally incompetent. Just like that. 40 years of building an empire, stripped away in a courtroom I didn't even know existed. My jaw clenched. That's insane. I didn't even know people could pull that off. He scoffed. With enough money, anything is possible. Judges, doctors, lawyers, all for sale. We turned onto a narrow country road. Trees lined both sides, swallowing the car in shadows. The GPS showed 8 minutes left. Then he leaned in slightly and whispered something that made every hair on my body stand straight. "You know what's worse, kid? This isn't just about money anymore. It's about revenge. They don't just want me out of the picture. They want me erased." I swallowed. "You mean, they'd..." He nodded, deadly serious. "Yeah. If they catch me, I'm not walking away." My grip tightened, my heartbeat hammered in my ears. "And me?" His eyes locked onto mine. "If you're lucky, you'll disappear. If not, you become collateral." The tension was suffocating. I checked the mirror again. Nothing behind us. For now. Then the GPS chimed. "Turn right in 600 meters. Joaquin pointed. "It's up ahead. Dirt road, hidden driveway. She lives completely off the radar." We made the turn. The tires crunched over gravel. The road narrowed, overgrown on both sides. A small wooden house appeared in the distance, tucked deep into the trees. Joaquim whispered, almost praying. Please, please be home. Please be alive. I pulled the car up close. The house looked ancient, faded paint, windows covered from the inside. But there was a car, an old sedan, parked out back. Joaquim exhaled. She's here. As we stepped out of the car, every sound, every bird, every breeze felt amplified. My legs were shaking. His hands trembled as he adjusted the bag. We approached the front door. Joaquim knocked 3 times. Nothing. He knocked again, louder this time. Come on, come on. Then, movement. The curtains shifted. A shadow passed behind the window. A female voice, frail but sharp, called out from behind the door. Who is it? Joaquim stepped forward. It's me. Joaquim, please, I need your help. Silence. Then, the sound of locks. 1, 2, 3, 4. The door cracked open, revealing a tiny, elderly woman with piercing gray eyes that held more power than her fragile body suggested. She scanned Joaquim, then me, then the bag, and her face turned pale. Oh, God, you really did it. You really ran. Joaquim nodded. They left me no choice. Her eyes flicked to me again. And him? Joaquim answered without hesitation. My driver, my witness, my only ally right now. The old woman's face turned serious. Get inside. Now, before it's too late. As the door shut behind us, I had no idea that what was about to happen inside that house would be more dangerous than everything we'd faced on the road. The door shut behind us with a heavy, final thud, followed by the sharp clicks of multiple locks sliding back into place. The air inside smelled like old books, dust, and something faintly metallic. The woman led us into a dim living room cluttered with boxes, files, and stacks of yellowed papers. No TV, no computer. Just a wall of filing cabinets and a single rusted safe in the corner. She turned toward Joaquim, eyes narrowing. You were supposed to come sooner. Joaquim sighed, exhausted. I didn't have a choice. They moved faster than I expected. Her gaze flicked to me. And you, driver, you realize you're in this now, don't you? I swallowed hard. Yeah. Trust me, I figured that out. About 6 death threats ago. She didn't smile, not even a crack. Good. At least you're not stupid. Joaquim set the bag down on her table with a heavy thump. It's all here, the original will, the land titles, the financial records, the transfer contracts, everything. The woman, her name was Donna Helena, immediately opened the bag, slipping on a pair of old reading glasses. Her fingers moved fast, flipping through documents, inspecting seals, signatures, watermarks. Then she paused, pulled out one thin, faded envelope, sealed with red wax. Her hands trembled slightly. I never thought I'd see this again. Joaquim nodded, voice low. You signed it. You witnessed it. Before they buried it all. She opened it carefully, unfolded the document, scanned it, line by line, then looked at him, stunned. If this gets out, it ruins everything they've built. Their entire takeover collapses. The properties, the bank accounts, the fake companies, gone. All of it goes back to you. I blinked, trying to process. Wait, you mean this piece of paper? This alone can end them? Helena nodded sharply. It's not just paper. It's a legal weapon. Their whole plan hinges on the courts believing he was mentally incompetent. But this predates everything. Signed, witnessed, notarized. It overrides their fake claims. It proves Joaquim was fully capable when this was made. Joaquim sat down, his face a mixture of relief and exhaustion. But there's a problem. They know I have it now. Helena sighed, pinching the bridge of her nose. Yeah, and they won't stop. They'll send people. They'll threaten lawyers, judges, even police. Then, she stood, walked over to the safe in the corner, spun the dial with shaky hands, and pulled it open. From inside, she took out a small portable scanner, a laptop so old it looked like it belonged in a museum, and a flash drive. We make copies, digital, paper, everything. If they take you out, the evidence survives. Understand? Joaquim nodded. Do it. As she scanned document after document, my phone, powered off since earlier, buzzed violently in my pocket. It shouldn't have been possible. It was off, completely dead. I pulled it out slowly. The screen lit up anyway, without me touching anything. Unknown number, last warning. Walk away, Daniel, or watch what happens to your mother. My stomach twisted so violently I thought I might throw up. No, 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 no. Joaquim noticed the look on my face. What? What happened? I showed him the screen. His jaw clenched so tight I thought his teeth might break. They're going after your family now. Helena froze mid-scan. Her voice was ice. We don't have time. Once this is done, you leave here, both of you, immediately. Joaquim looked at me, eyes blazing. Kid, you still with me? I swallowed, fists clenched. Yeah, I'm with you. But after this, we're getting to my mother, no matter what. His nod was sharp. Deal. Helena's printer spat out the last copies. She shoved the documents into 2 separate envelopes, handed one to Joaquim and one to me. If either of you gets caught, the other keeps running, understood? Both of us nodded. Then, tires screeched outside. Headlights lit up the window. Multiple engines. Helena's voice dropped to a whisper. They're here. The sound of car doors slamming outside felt like gunshots. My pulse exploded in my ears. Joaquim grabbed the envelope Helena handed him and shoved it deep into his jacket. I did the same, my hands trembling. Helena darted to the back of the house, pulling aside a rug to reveal a trap door. Down, both of you. Now. Joaquim hesitated for half a second. What about you? Her eyes burned with fierce determination. I'm old. I'm not running. But you still have a fight to finish. There was no time to argue. Heavy footsteps pounded onto the porch. A fist hammered on the front door. Open up! We know you're in there! Helena threw open the trap door. A narrow wooden ladder led into complete darkness below. Go! I'll stall them as long as I can. Joaquim dropped down first, vanishing into the shadows. I followed, barely managing to pull the trap door closed above me before I heard the front door crash open. Darkness swallowed us. My breath came fast and shallow. The narrow tunnel beneath the house smelled like damp earth and old wood. Joaquim flicked on a tiny flashlight he had in his bag. The narrow beam revealed wooden beams and dirt walls, stretching forward into blackness. This leads out to the woods behind her property. We move fast. We lose them. Above us, muffled voices, shouts, furniture crashing, someone demanding, Where is he? Where's the old man? I clenched my fists. They're tearing the place apart. Joaquim pressed forward, moving faster now. Keep going. Focus. If we get caught here, we're done. The tunnel stretched longer than I expected, maybe 50, 60 meters, then ended at a rusty hatch. Joaquim shoved it open, and we crawled out into thick woods. The cool night air hit my face like a slap. Okay, what now? Where do we go? Joaquim scanned the tree line. There's an old service road about half a mile west. If we can make it there, we can hitch a ride. Or steal one. I swallowed. And then, his voice turned deadly serious. Then we go to your house. We get your mother. And we disappear. We started running, ducking between trees, our shoes crunching through leaves and sticks. Behind us, lights flickered through the trees, flashlights, voices shouting. They realized we were gone. Fan out. Find them. Panic surged. My legs burned. My lungs felt like fire. Joaquim, they're catching up. I know, faster. Suddenly, a loud crack, something heavy snapping behind us. I risked a glance over my shoulder. 3 men, black clothes, flashlights, moving fast. There, they're here, someone shouted. Joaquim grabbed my arm. Left, now! We veered sharply, ducked under a fallen tree, then scrambled through a ditch. I could hear them gaining. My body was screaming at me to stop, but there was no choice. Up ahead, headlights, a vehicle, an old pickup truck parked near the tree line. Empty, keys dangling from the ignition like a miracle. Joaquim bolted for it. Get in! Get in! I dove into the passenger seat. He jumped behind the wheel, twisted the keys. Engine roared to life. Tires spun, kicking up dirt as we shot forward. Bullets, 3, maybe 4, cracked through the air behind us. One shattered the back window. Glass sprayed everywhere. Joaquim floored it. Hold on! The truck bounced over rocks, slammed into potholes, but we stayed upright. I glanced back. 2 men were still chasing, but fading fast. They're falling behind. Yeah, but they won't stop. Not until one of us is dead. As the dirt road met pavement, Joaquim spun the wheel onto the main road, tires screeching. His knuckles were white against the steering wheel. Next stop, your house. I felt my heart sink. My mother, they threatened her. If they touched her, I swear to God. Joaquim nodded grimly. Then we end this. Together. The truck barreled down the road, engine screaming as Joaquim pushed it past its limits. My leg bounced uncontrollably. My fingers twitched against the door handle. All I could think about, over and over, was my mom. Was she okay? Had they gotten to her already? Joaquim's voice was low but firm. You said your mom lives on Oak Ridge Avenue, right? Yeah, third house on the left. White fence, blue door. His hands tightened on the wheel. All right, we'll be there in 15. Maybe less. The silence that followed was suffocating. Both of us locked in our own heads. Me, picturing my mother in danger. Him, knowing this wasn't just about money anymore. It never was. This was about survival. Then Joaquim spoke, almost whispering. Listen, when we get there, there's a chance. They might be waiting. If it goes bad, you take the documents, the flash drive, and you run, understand? I whipped my head toward him. No way. We're not splitting up, not now. His jaw clenched. Kid, I'm old. I've lived my life. You've still got years ahead. If one of us has to go down, it won't be you. Not happening. We finish this together. End of story. He glanced over. For the first time since this nightmare started, he smiled. Just a tiny, tired, grateful smile. You've got guts, kid. I respect that. The city lights appeared on the horizon. My neighborhood wasn't far now. I gripped the door, ready for anything. Then, my phone buzzed. Again. I checked. A text. You should have walked away, Daniel. No sender, no number, just that message. My stomach twisted. They're watching. They know we're coming. Joaquim nodded, eyes scanning every intersection, every passing car. Good. Let them watch. Let them know we're not running anymore. We turned onto Oak Ridge Avenue. My heart felt like it would explode. There it was, my house. White fence, blue door, porch light still on. But something was wrong. The gate was open. The front door, slightly ajar. No. I jumped out before the truck even stopped. Mom! I screamed, sprinting toward the house. Joaquim was right behind me, one hand clutching the bag, the other inside his jacket, probably gripping the old revolver he'd shown me earlier. I burst through the door. Mom, where are you? Silence. Then, a voice, from the kitchen. Daniel, in here. I froze. My blood ran cold. Something was wrong with her voice. Flat. Mechanical. Joaquim grabbed my arm, whispered, Wait. Something's off. Listen. We crept forward. Slowly. Step by step. As we rounded the corner into the kitchen, there she was, sitting at the table, alone, hands folded, perfectly calm. Too calm. Her eyes lifted to mine. Daniel, you shouldn't have come. My throat tightened. Mom? What? Then a new voice, from the shadows behind her. Took you long enough. A figure stepped out. Tall, sharp suit, cold eyes. He looked eerily familiar. Joaquim's whole body stiffened. His voice dropped to a growl. Fernando. The man smiled, sharp, empty. Hello, Father. We've been expecting you. My stomach dropped. This was Joaquim's son, the one who started it all. Fernando's eyes flicked to me. And you, the driver, the accidental hero. You really should have walked away. I clenched my fists. If you hurt her, if you so much as... He raised a hand, calm. Relax. Your mother's fine. For now, this isn't about her, or you. This is family business. Joaquim stepped forward, fire in his eyes. Family? You lost the right to use that word the day you stabbed me in the back. Fernando smiled wider. Oh, Father, you always were so dramatic. His hand slipped into his jacket. Slow, deliberate. But this ends, right here, right now. And just like that, the entire room turned electric. One wrong move, and everything would explode. My hands were clenched so tight I felt my nails digging into my palms. My eyes darted between my mom, still sitting stiff, frozen in fear, Joaquim, whose face burned with pure fury, and Fernando, the calm devil in a tailored suit. Fernando's hand hovered inside his jacket. No rush, no panic, just cold calculation. You really disappointed me, Father. I thought after all these years you'd finally accept your place. Out of the way. Forgotten. Joaquim's voice was like steel. And you really think this ends the way you planned? Fernando chuckled, slow and sharp. Oh, I don't think. I know. He pulled his hand out. A gun, small, black, silencer attached. He pointed it straight at Joaquim. You should have stayed in that nursing home. Without thinking, I stepped forward. No. My voice cracked with adrenaline. You do anything to him, and I swear, I'll release everything. Every file, every document, your fake signatures, your theft, your entire scam will be public by morning. Fernando didn't even flinch. Cute. But you underestimate how fast problems disappear. Then Joaquim did something I didn't expect. He smiled. A slow, confident, terrifying smile. That's the thing about old men like me, son. We've been underestimated our entire lives. From his coat pocket, he pulled something out. A tiny device. Black, with a blinking red light. Fernando's eyes narrowed. What is that? Joaquim pressed a button. A sharp beep echoed from the device. That is a live stream. Been broadcasting this entire conversation for the last 5 minutes. Direct to a secure cloud server, and about, 15 people watching it in real time. Fernando's face finally cracked. Shock. Rage. You're lying. Joaquim's grin widened. Try me. My phone buzzed. A message popped up on the screen. Recording live. Over 2,300 viewers and counting. I turned the screen so Fernando could see it. His face drained of color. You stupid, reckless. He pointed the gun at me now. Shut it off. Right now. I raised both hands, voice shaking. Go ahead, pull the trigger. I won't shut it off. None of us will. And if we go down here, guess what? Everyone watching knows your name, your face, your crimes. Joaquim stepped beside me, his voice deadly calm. Checkmate, son. Fernando's hand shook. His eyes flicked between the gun, us, and my mom. His cool facade crumbled piece by piece. His breathing turned shallow, panic setting in. Then footsteps, loud, heavy, from outside. Police! Open up! Fernando's face twisted with pure hate. You called the cops? Joaquim didn't even blink. No, someone watching the stream did. Banging on the door. Open the door! Hands where we can see them! Fernando's hand trembled. For 1 second, I thought he might actually pull the trigger anyway. But instead, he dropped the gun. It clattered to the floor. His hands went up. His jaw clenched so tight it looked like it might snap. You think this is over? This isn't over. Joaquim leaned in close, his voice like fire. Oh, it's over. For you, it's very, very over. The door burst open. Officers stormed in, guns raised, shouting commands. Fernando was yanked to the ground, cuffed, face pressed against the floor. As they dragged him away, his eyes never left Joaquim. I should have finished you when I had the chance. Joaquim stood tall, unshaken. Yeah, you should have. I rushed to my mom, wrapping her in the tightest hug of my life. She was shaking, but okay. Tears streamed down her face. Daniel. Oh God. What even is this? It's over, Mom. It's over. The officers cleared the house. One walked over to Joaquim. Sir, we're going to need you to come down to the station. There's a lot to sort through here. Joaquim nodded. Of course. But trust me, you're going to want to hear this whole story. He glanced at me, smiled. Right, kid? I smiled back. Oh yeah, you have no idea. The flashing red and blue lights painted the entire street. Neighbors peeked from behind curtains, whispering, trying to make sense of the chaos unfolding in front of my house. Joaquim and I sat on the back bumper of an ambulance. My mom was inside, getting checked out by the paramedics. She was okay, shaken, scared, but okay. And for the first time in hours, maybe in days, I could breathe. An officer approached us, a young guy with kind eyes but a face trying hard to look serious. Mr. Joaquim, I've spoken with our captain. We've reviewed some of the files you uploaded. Sir, this isn't just a family dispute. This is massive. Fraud, forgery, elder abuse, conspiracy. It's going federal. Joaquim nodded, calm as ever. Told you. They tried to bury me. But now they're the ones about to be buried. Legally, of course. The officer allowed himself the smallest smile. Legally? Yeah. A few feet away, Fernando sat handcuffed in the back of a patrol car, head down, face pale. His whole empire of lies, crumbling in real time. I turned to Joaquim. So, what happens now? He sighed. Now, the lawyers do what lawyers do, but with the truth on my side, I'll get everything back. My name, my properties, my freedom. He turned to look at me, his face softening. But more important, I learned something today. You can spend a lifetime building wealth, but in the end, the only thing that matters is who stands with you when it all falls apart. My chest tightened. I didn't even know you this morning, and now it feels like we've been through a war together. He chuckled, patting my shoulder. We have, kid. We have. A pause. Then he added, I owe you, more than I can ever repay. I shook my head. No, man. You don't owe me anything. You taught me something too. About family. About how blood doesn't always mean loyalty. And about how sometimes the people who show up for you aren't the ones you expected. He smiled. A genuine, warm smile. You ever need anything, kid? Anything at all? You call me. No questions asked. We stood. The officer came back. Mr. Joaquim, we'll need you downtown for statements. But don't worry. You're the victim here. Joaquim nodded. Let's go finish this. He turned to me one last time, grabbed my hand and squeezed it tight. Take care of your mother, and take care of yourself. You too, old man. You too. As the officers led Joaquim to the squad car, this time not in cuffs, I stood there, watching. And I realized something. Sometimes, you start the day thinking you're just a driver, just another guy trying to make a living. But by the end of it, you learn you were meant to be something more. A witness, an ally, and maybe, just maybe, someone's hero. If you made it to the end of this crazy story, let me know where you're watching from. Drop a like if you believe good people still exist in this world. And hit that subscribe button because trust me, with this job, there's always another story coming.